Welcome to the deep dive.
Hmm.
There's been some noise recently, something that definitely caught our eye.
You're talking about Donald Trump's post on Truth Social about
Uh,
Alcatraz.
exactly. From Sunday, he's proposing reopening it and expanding it.
Right. The stated reason is to tackle, as he put it, vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders. Make Alcatraz a big symbol of law, order, and justice.
Yeah, which, immediately bumps up against its current life as a huge tourist spot. Let's break down what he's actually directing.
Okay.
He's told the Bureau of Prisons, DOJ, FBI, Homeland Security, basically get Alcatraz back online, bigger, rebuilt for America's most ruthless and violent offenders.
And this isn't entirely out of the blue style-wise, is it? I mean, it sort of echoes some previous ideas.
Like what?
Well, remember the talk about sending alleged gang members to, I think it was an El Salvador prison?
Oh, right. And comments about possibly sending homegrown criminals to prisons overseas, too. So, a hard line.
Definitely a consistent theme there. Now, Alcatraz itself, its history is pretty fascinating. It wasn't always the prison.
No, it started as a fort. Right. Naval defense.
Yeah, way back. Then it became a military prison, early 1900s. Only later, the 1930s, did it shift to the Department of Justice as a federal pen.
And that's when the legends started. Al Capone.
Mickey Cohen, George Machine Gun Kelly, the big names.
They even got into movies. Birdman of Alcatraz, Robert Stroud, the bird guy.
Right, him. And The Rock, that action film, pure Hollywood, but still it shows the place's grip on the imagination.
But the thing is, it closed back in 1963. Why then?
Well, that's the kicker. It wasn't because it stopped being secure or anything. It was basically the cost.
The costs.
Uh-huh. Being on an island, heating, supplies, staff transport, everything cost a fortune. Apparently, it was running nearly 3 times more expensive than other federal prisons at the time.
Wow. 3 times. So reopening and expanding it now.
Mhm.
You have to wonder about the price tag.
Exactly. Professor Gabriel Jack Chin at UC Davis Law School, he looked at this and basically said reopening it would cost an enormous amount of money.
Okay, enormous cost. But what about need? Are federal prisons overflowing?
Actually, that's another point Professor Chin raises. The federal prison population is significantly down, about 25% off its peak.
So, there are empty beds elsewhere in the system.
Seems like it. He mentioned a lot of empty beds, which, makes you question the practical need for such a huge, expensive project like a rebuilt Alcatraz.
So, if it's not strictly about capacity,
Yeah.
what's the driver?
Professor Chin suggests it's likely more about the message. Alcatraz has this enduring reputation as a tough prison. Reopening it sends a very clear tough on crime signal. It's symbolic.
Right, the symbolism. That makes sense. And the political reaction kind of reflects that debate, doesn't
It
it?
does. You had Nancy Pelosi, California Democrat, basically saying it's not a serious proposal.
And Scott Wiener, the state senator for San Francisco.
He was even stronger, called it deeply unhinged, and an attack on the rule of law. Pretty sharp responses there.
So, summing this up, we have Trump's announcement, this plan for Alcatraz, framed as a law and order move.
Yep, echoing some past tough stances. But then you have the history, especially why it closed, the high cost.
And expert analysis saying, well, the cost would be huge, and there might not even be a need for this space, given current prison populations are down.
Plus the immediate political pushback questioning the whole idea.
Which really leaves a big question hanging, something for you listening to chew on.
Mm-hmm.
When you factor in those massive operational costs for an island prison, and the fact that there might be spare capacity elsewhere, what are the real challenges, the real implications of bringing Alcatraz back? It's definitely more than just unlocking old cells.